Welcome back to Connect. I'm your host, Andy Hale. It is so good to be back talking to everybody. Today, we're going to have a little book club session. It is a book I have mentioned several times, the book I keep talking about because it's so powerful. Abundant Ever After by Cathy Heller. And what it says on here is tools for creating a life of prosperity and ease. Jessica Rachel, who is a spiritual medium who's been on this Connect podcast several times, recommended this book to me. Thank you, Jessica, for that. I really appreciate it. And thank you, Cathy Heller, for putting out this book. I'm telling you, people, get this book and read it. It can make such a huge difference in your lives. I want to talk a little bit, just some parts about it today. This is Book Club Part 1 with Abundant Ever After. We'll have more to say. The main message I think I got out of that book is everything starts with how you feel. So here's how you can improve your life. It all starts with how you feel and feeling good. And what Cathy Heller talks in there is about how we all have an energy and we all can radiate and vibrate. And it's the energy you give off and the way you feel that has the most impact on your reality and your circumstances and the things that happen in your life. I cannot stress this enough. It is the way you feel. I love affirmations. I love visualizations. I do those things. Meditation's all great. But it's not going to be powerful if you're just saying things. And it's almost like a chore. You know, you're kind of visualizing something, you know, you're just kind of like sitting there trying to meditate, or you're saying an affirmation and, you know, you're just kind of knowing you got to say it 10 times. The most important thing is how you feel inside. So when you do those things, you want to have a feeling of just feeling good, feeling excited, feeling grateful. But let me talk specifically about some parts of the book. So I want to read you some parts today. I'm going to start on page 6, and we're just getting into the start of the book. We're going to have a deeper dive. I want to read you a part from pages 6 and 7 of the book, okay? And then we'll talk about it. So here we go. My dear teacher, Rabbi David Aaron, who was the first to help me understand that the universe works through the law of reception. Based on the word Kabbalah, which means to receive, the idea is that everything that we need and most desire in life is already here. You don't have to attract it. You just have to receive it. You just have to allow it in. There's nothing at a far distance from us and nothing we need to force to have it. Right here in this moment, all potentials already exist. And the question is, how much do you allow yourself to receive? When first explaining this concept to me, he used the radio as a metaphor, and I love it so much. He said a radio has the capacity to tune into music that is always here, hidden in plain sight. We are designed just like that. When we tap into our truest frequency, we experience a totally new reality. We are in charge of what appears. It all depends on which wavelength we're on. As a latchkey kid in the 80s and 90s, I had my Sony boombox to keep me entertained. It was one of those old school boomboxes with the rabbit ears, and depending on the day, I would manipulate those ears to tune it to pop, oldies, sometimes a rock station. A variety of music was always at my fingertips, and it was up to me to tune to the station of my choosing and receive it. Here's my way of understanding this metaphor. The whole journey here is about being a receiver. If I have a radio sitting next to me and I turn it on, I'll hear music. If the radio is off, I won't hear anything. So I turn it on. But then once I turn it on, depending on what the radio is tuned to, I might hear a salsa song. If I tune it another way, I might hear hip hop or classical music. So what's in control of the broadcast? It's whatever the receiver is picking up. When we look at it this way, we realize that all potentials exist in this quantum field. All realities exist in this moment, and the one you're in is the one you're attuned to. The experience of your life is a mirror of the radio station you have chosen. You just don't necessarily know that. But once you understand that you are in control of the music you want to broadcast and receive, you realize, wow, that's unbelievable. That's so empowering. I can choose a different station. Did you get that? All the music is already here. You simply have to tune into a certain frequency to receive a different type of song. That is how abundance works. That is so powerful to me. The whole notion of a radio dial. And I've used this at times. I'll be sitting in my office or at home, and maybe I'm just not feeling exactly as good as I want. I'll say, wait a minute. I got to change the radio dial. And I picture myself just literally, hearing a little bit of static and then turning the dial a little bit. And then the music I like comes through loud and clear. You can change that radio dial anytime you want. There's all kinds of things on that radio. You don't have to feel the way you're feeling. You don't have to be in the state that you're currently in. She talks about this a little bit more on page 9. And there's a great passage I like on page 9. And the title of it is Plug In. Here's what she says on page 9. Whenever I talk in my coaching or workshops about money, abundance, and the things we most desire in our lives, there's an impatience that will swell in the room until finally someone asks, but what's the actionable strategy? How do I actually do it? The answer, create a ripple effect with your energy. Like skipping stones in a pond, our energy makes an impression, and it casts ripples into the universe. In its simplest form, the world is energy. Made from energy, a creator and radiator of energy, dictated by energy. You too are made of energy. And so the actionable strategy for tapping into the infinite stream of abundance has everything to do with you. What are you broadcasting? What is the vibrational imprint you are leaving on the world? What frequency are you tuned into? Harnessing and being intentional with your energy is the actionable strategy. I absolutely love that. And you realize the power is all within you. You have the power to tune that radio dial to the frequency you want. You have the power to change your vibration. You have the power to change your energy. You have the power to feel good. There's one more passage about that, about plugging in. This is on page 15. I want to read you one more. Here's what Cathy Heller says. We are each made to grow, to soar, to thrive. And when we don't, when we feel in lack, it's because we're out of alignment with our soul's intention. We're not plugged in. Plug in now. And when you're fully charged, you become magnetic. People can't wait to work with you or be in a relationship with you because you become an energetic match for receiving infinite abundance. In terms of receiving material wealth, it's always our energy that opens that lock. Holding a positive vibration is what turns the key. Let me read those last two sentences again, because I love these sentences. In terms of receiving material wealth, it's always our energy that opens that lock. Holding a positive vibration is what turns the key. That just resonates with me so much. And what I have been really in my own life, basically in 2025, since I've read this book, I've been focusing on my energy, my vibration, feeling good, feeling abundant, feeling successful, feeling excited about all the things I'm doing, all the projects I'm working on, my podcasts, my documentaries, my true crime projects, my cases, my Starved Rock Murders case, some of the other people I'm trying to get out of prison. James Tevel, who we're going to get him out next. A guy that just finished his sentence that we're now trying to help and prove his innocence, Aaron Holly. I could go on and on and on, and I just feel good and excited. And when you feel that way, when you have that vibration, you have that energy, that is when the magic happens. And that's when people start coming your way. Connections come your way. Opportunities come your way. The universe starts lining things up for you. It might seem like a coincidence, but it's not. That's when things just start happening. And here's a part Cathy talks about on page 9. This is applied to me so many times. She says, your biggest gift to the world is your presence, your pure energy. Think about it. One of the highest compliments to receive is, you've got great energy, right? When you're a walking, talking vibration of pure energy, there's nothing more attractive, more delicious. I have had several people in the last few months just tell me, gosh, I love your energy. Literally using the word energy. I'll give you an example. My daughter got married a few weeks ago. And I gave, as the father bride, I gave a little speech, kind of a heartfelt, emotional speech. And one of my daughter's friends came up to me and said, this is incredible. She said, oh my gosh, I love your energy. It seemed like you were like at the Academy Awards accepting an Oscar, the way you were projecting your energy. I was like, holy shit. That is the biggest compliment you could have given to me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I've talked on here, people that have been listening, Cathy Heller talks in her book about setting audacious goals, okay? I had another little conversation about that. And I've said on here that I've been filming video of Chester Weger, my client, the guy who was innocent for trying to prove in the Starved Rock murders case. For those who don't know, it was a triple murder in 1960 at the Starved Rock State Park. 3 women found brutally beaten in a cave. My client, Chester Weger, was a 21-year-old dishwasher at the time. The Starved Rock Lodge had nothing to do with the case, was coerced to confess, served over 60 years in prison, got out on parole a few years ago. He's 86 years old. And I've taken video at his house, birthday parties, Christmas, with his family, talking about, Chester, the impact his convictions had on the family, just some really heartfelt things. And I've said, you know what? Originally I was like going to put this on my YouTube page, maybe on my website. I'm like, no, I want to do a short documentary and win an Academy Award. I'm going to call this documentary Chester and Me, about our relationship. That's what I feel. That's what I'm putting out there. That's my energy. I want to win an Academy Award for Chester and Me, this short documentary. So when this friend of my daughter's came up to me and said, man, I love your energy. It's like you were at the Oscars giving an acceptance speech. That blew my socks off. That just blew me away. And I felt like it was the highest compliment I could receive. I mean, I still think about that moment. And it's just incredible to me. It's just incredible. So I want to stress to everybody out there who's listening, it is how you feel, your vibration, your energy. And when you radiate that, it's contagious. People feel it. Like this section I just read, people want to work with you. They want to connect with you. Opportunities come your way. Downloads come your way. Creative things come your way. That is when you're going to notice all these incredible things that have been there. But you've now tuned the radio dial to that station, whereas before you were on static. Now you've tuned the dial. The music you love is coming through loud and clear. Now, here's another part that I want to stress before we wrap this up. This is something you can do right now. Right now, this very moment. Cathy Heller talks about this in her book. I'm going to go to page 63 now, okay? This is from page 63 and 64. I want to read you this passage. Do you notice the ways in which you're outsourcing your sense of feeling good? Outsourcing your fulfillment, your sense of abundance? So many of us fall into this trap. We tell ourselves that happiness happens only after something external, something we don't already have, shows up at our door. Or we tell ourselves that happiness happens only after something external that we already have and no longer want exits stage right. This focus on a future outcome creates a feeling of lack in the present. It creates a feeling of discontent in your life right now. And not only that, when the obstacle is removed and you do get the job promotion, meet someone new, go on a dream vacation, or buy the house, what happens then? You feel good. You feel great. Then 5 days, 5 weeks, or 5 months later, the sense of excitement and novelty wears off, and you start searching for that feeling again. Maybe you'll find it somewhere else, you think, and so you go searching for the feeling, believing that it's somewhere in the future, somewhere outside of you, somewhere other than where you are, and you continue to seek it out. I know from experience that this search is exhausting and can be ultimately frustrating when it feels like no matter what you do, you're always on the other side of your dreams. But here's the thing. That's not how it works. That feeling you seek is not dependent on external circumstances because it's within you and it's available in this moment. That's right, and I'm going to say it again. The feeling you seek is not dependent on external circumstances because it's within you and it's available in this moment. And let me follow up on that with something she says on page 67. I'm going to read you one more paragraph. You may think that a life of abundance will only happen when you get the corner office or the convertible that allows the wind to blow through your hair. You may think that, but the feeling is available right now, wherever you are, whether you're driving a luxury car or a rundown Toyota, and whatever the state of your hair, because there's no moment in the future that's better than this moment. Better later doesn't exist because what you're waiting for is the feeling you think you'll feel in the future, and that can exist right now. Why would you wait for something to happen in order to give yourself the permission to feel that good when you can feel every good feeling right now? Truly, whoever you are, you can feel better now. You can find the feeling of joy, love, freedom, all within your being. And when you feel better, you do better. The Dalai Lama doesn't just radiate light. He performs tremendous acts of service, and we're each capable of the same. We each have the capacity to connect with and transform the lives of so many people, and it starts with ourselves. It starts by changing the dial, by developing an awareness of our thoughts and beliefs and how they affect the frequency of our lives. Cathy Heller, Abundant Ever After. So listen to me, people. Listen loud and clear. This very moment, I'm talking about right now. Right now, you can change your life. It's all by the way you think. You don't have to wait for the raise. You don't have to wait for the promotion. You don't have to wait for the better job. You don't have to wait for the house you want. You don't have to wait for the relationship you're waiting for. You don't have to wait for any of those things. None of it. It all starts with how you feel, and you can change that right now. This is what I cannot stress enough. You want to feel good as your baseline feeling 24/7, as best you can. Don't wait to feel good for something in the future. Don't wait for, if you're trying to have more abundance, you want to make more money, you want to have a nicer house, you want to have these material things. You can't wait to try to have those things. They're never going to happen. You have to feel good first. Feel good about what you have. Feel grateful. Feel grateful for your present circumstances, but also the things you want and envision. If you're thinking about a vacation or a dream house or a job you'd like, picture yourself having that now. And how would it make you feel? Let's say you wanted to make more money. How would it make you feel if you were sitting there today, right now, having gotten that raise or that promotion or that different job? How would that make you feel? All right? Feel that. Feel that now. Let that feeling soak in. Act like it's already happened. Act like it's already happened and you have it now. Treat it that way. Once you feel those feelings, once you feel like you have the things that you want and you're aligned and you're happy and you're grateful and you just feel good and you're energetic and you radiate and you have a kick in your step, that is when your life is truly going to change. That is when connections are going to come your way. People are going to come your way. Opportunities are going to come your way. Creative downloads are going to come your way. I'll give you one last example. I was talking to a lawyer, one of the lawyers at our law firm, a couple days ago. And I was talking with him about ways to market his practice so that we can bring in some more clients, some more cases, and have more financial abundance. And we were talking about, we were just kind of spitballing, like, well, maybe we could do billboards. Maybe we could do online marketing. Maybe we could do a seminar. Maybe we could do Facebook ads. We're kind of going through these different marketing strategies. And then it finally hit me. And I said to this person, I said, you know what I think it all starts with? I think it starts with your mindset. I said, all it's going to take is you picturing yourself having all these additional cases, having these tremendous results, having won these big jury verdicts, having gotten these big settlements. Feel that. Think of what you want. Think of those results and feel it like you've already gotten it and you've already accomplished it. Feel that way day to day. Just feel it. How would you feel if you sat here right now and thought, gosh, in the last 4 months, I've settled $10 million worth of cases. I brought in 5 new incredible cases. I am getting amazing results for my clients. I'm winning trials. How would that make you feel inside? And I told him, feel that way. Feel that way now. And when you feel that way, the opportunities are going to come your way. The clients are going to come your way. The results are going to come your way. So it all starts with how you feel. Change the radio dial to the frequency of your true alignment, your true passion, your true purpose. Turn the dial to that station. Then feel good, radiate, feel powerful, feel energy, feel excited, and go about your day feeling that way. Whether you're at the grocery store, getting coffee, talking to your colleagues, talking to your family, feel that feeling, and people are going to be like, wow, I love your energy. And you know what? That is when the magic happens. Trust me. And you can do this right now. This is the key. You do not have to wait, and you should not wait. Do not wait for anything external. Do not wait for permission. Do not think like, well, I can't feel that way until X, Y, or Z happens. No. You can and should feel that way right now, right at this very, very moment. Do it. Try it. It takes a little practice, but believe me, if you keep at it, you will get good at it and you will notice a big difference. And if you do it and practice it, reach out to me. I'd love to hear some examples and testimonials from people who practice what I'm talking about. I'm telling you, it'll change your life. And one more shout out, Cathy Heller, Abundant Ever After. I'm not done talking about this book. I'll have more to say. But for today, 1, feel good. Change the radio dial. Feel good. Vibrate. Share your energy. And 2, do it now. Do it today. You can change your frequency right now. Change your life today and start feeling better. Can't wait to talk more about this. Thank you for tuning into Connect.